Shows two people on here. I don't see any comments yet, but I jumped on about a minute early, so I'm sure people haven't gotten the little thing from YouTube if they're even going to do it, but or send it out. But yeah, tonight's going to be a good one. I'm riled up, and I've got a bunch of my notes, and we're going to let some stuff rip. You may like it, you may not, but it's some stuff that's bugging me, so I wanted to talk about it. Tonight we are having Basil Hayden's. Cheers, everyone. What is up, DB? How are you doing, sir? You got the crown for the first comment. Says you are the top fan. That's awesome. Hope you're doing well, sir. But yeah, we're gonna let some stuff rip tonight. But before I get into it, hello, Armsman. How are you, good sir? But yeah, I had taken a bunch of notes, and you know, I want to share it. What's up, Turkey Opinion? You might like this chat, Turkey's Opinion, because I'm gonna let some stuff loose that you might even be not aware of, but you might want to know. I know you've got a chat tonight too. DB, it looks like he's drinking coffee. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Did you spike it, or is it just standard coffee? But yeah, this is going to be, and of course I'm going to answer y'all's questions too, but this is going to be kind of a rant with a handful of things that are really bugging me that y'all might be interested in. It does pertain to YouTube. What is up, Unit 4? A Big J rant. Yeah, we're going to get into some stuff. Iced coffee puts me to bed. Damn, that's weird. A lot of coffee sometimes keeps me up. I mean, depending on how potent it is. Hello, Rich B. How are you, sir? We'll give it about 5 more minutes. No, we're not going to talk about the ciggers, man. They got enough crap that that dumpster fire is still burning. That thing is a bonfire now. Yeah, no, they have a ton of problems there. All right, it shows 7:02. We'll just give it a couple more minutes, because once I start saying this, if people start jumping in, I don't want to say, "What'd you say?" or and have to try to re-say it. Of course, they can go back and watch it too. Seen those SIGs selling for $150 used. What's up, Steve? How are you, buddy? Yeah, they are. Matter of fact, I went to Texas Gun Experience, and they are still selling new 320s, because part of their SIG contract in order to get SIG guns is they have to purchase 320s in their contract, is what I was told. I think every SIG authorized dealer does have to accept some 320s, is from what I understand, but I don't know that for sure. What's up, Pranic? How are you? I saw Pranic this week. Hope you're doing well, sir. Oh, Pranic, were you able to go shoot that day or not? Just curious. But anyway, Texas Gun Experience has a ton of used ones just sitting there. They put them on GunBroker, and I think they're still sitting there. So, and what's crazy, it's not just 320s that are getting traded in. There's a lot of 365s with dots that they have in their used case, and I was like, 365, 365, 365, and a bunch of 320s, of course, too. You didn't make it? Yeah, I gotcha. Buy a CZ, get a 320 sales promotion. Yeah. And some people have said this, but, a lot of people were thinking, since the new SIG P211 GTO takes 320 mags, a lot of people were saying, what if SIG should do a trade-in where you trade in your 320 or multiple 320s and get credit towards their 2011, their new P11, because that way they could still use the mags. And I was like, well, that'd be a good idea. DB says, I broke down and picked up a police trade-in Glock 17. and 3 Benjamins. There you go. I had a bunch of BS come up minutes after you left. Oh, I got you, print it. That distributor game is a joke. They make people take all kinds of stuff, like if you want this new whatever. Yeah, exactly. Need something to tinker with. There you go. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. So hope you got your seatbelts on, and if y'all have anything to chime in, let it rip. But there's some stuff that's bothering me that some YouTube channels are doing, and I'm noticing it. Sometimes when I drive down the road, I might have like a chat on, or a video on, or whatever. And sometimes just even sitting at home, I'll have it playing in the background, or I'm sitting and just watching YouTube, trying to catch up on some of the people that I follow. And these aren't people that I hardcore follow, so don't take it that way. But I just want people to be aware of this, and it's very irritating, and I think it's kind of scummy. Like when people are doing a chat like we're doing right now, I'm basically calling them YouTube beggars. But they're having a chat, whether it be a big chat, small chat, whatever, and they're basically only answering questions from commenters or subscribers or whomever if they pay them or give them a super chat, whether it's $2, $5, $10, whatever it is. They will only answer the questions when people pay them. And I'm not talking about the chat is just flowing like they're getting 1,000 questions. I'm talking they're getting like 2 or 3 questions, and some will even say, "Oh, well, if you put a super chat in, I'll answer that question for you." And then some of them aren't saying that, but they're expecting it. And if you don't ever put a super chat in, they just ramble on about other shit, and it's like they ignore you. And that is horrible. I mean, I'm just like, man, to me, it's like e-begging or YouTube begging, and I can't stand that. The way I look at it for a super chats, and I've given super chats before too, but super chats are given as thanks or appreciation to support that content creator. They should not be expected or demanded. Okay, so that's one thing. I hate that shit. And if y'all have a content creator that you like that does that, that's cool. But it's getting to the point where it's getting annoying, very annoying. So, let's see. Yep, I rarely listen to music, usually a chat or podcast. Yeah, Arm's been saying plenty of those. I wouldn't be on long if they expect it. What's up, Norwood? How are you, buddy? Like you said, if there's 1,000 in the chat and you need to do a super chat to get noticed, okay. But yeah, if you have a couple hundred, no BS. Yeah, and I mean, it's just like, it's like people just sit back and they're like, "Are you going to give me a super chat? So I'll answer your question." I mean, like, what would I do? Just sit here with my thumb up my ass and not answer questions if you didn't pay me? I mean, I'm doing this for fun and I enjoy chatting with y'all and stuff like that, but it's not expected. No one should expect to get paid. And sometimes I feel that people only do live chats in order to get paid. Like they're like, oh, they do them sporadically, and they're like, oh, give me your questions ahead of time. Super chats, I've seen it in the little comments. Give me your questions ahead of time, and super chats are appreciated. It's like they're throwing that out there. Everybody knows that you can give a super chat if you want to, but it should never, ever be expected just to get a damn question answered. And again, understand if you've got thousands, if you're a huge channel or whatever, and you've got thousands of comments and you're trying to decipher through them, naturally, if someone's going to pay you, you're going to answer that question, or I would hope you would. But I just think it's pretty cheesy. What's up, Floridian? How are you, buddy? Hope you're doing well. So that's one bitch that I have, the e-begging or the YouTube begging. It's getting old. But there is another thing that's really, really bothering me. Unit 4 said, I noticed after WGP releases his viral 320 video, other large YouTubers finally addressed the topic, yet the bigs still stay away from it. What does that say? Yeah, a lot of them are bought and paid for. They think very highly of themselves. Yeah, some think they're breaking news, or they've got the skinny on this or the skinny on that, and that's cool. I mean, whatever. Like I said, I'm not hating on anybody. I'm just hating on that way they're doing it. It's just it seems desperate to me. It seems dishonest. It just seems, man. I mean, I don't know if they're sleeping on their wallets or what the hell they're doing, but I hate it. Armstrong says, nothing like the good old days. Things are completely different these days, especially content creators. Yeah, no, that's true. So that's one thing that's pissing me off, or that I'm getting tired of. What's up, Ranger 10? How are you? Some content creators are putting items in an Amazon wish list for people to buy for them. Ooh, yeah, I have seen that too. They're like, oh, here's my wish list. If you want to help, if you want to buy that and send it to me or whatever. I don't know, man. DB says scroll up. What, did I miss something? Yeah, to get noticed. Yeah. See, I thought I said that. Agree on the chat thing. The best never asked for them. Yeah, I mean, if people want to give it, that's what I'm saying. It should not be expected. It should not be expected or demanded. So that's one thing that pisses me off. All right. There is another thing, and y'all have probably seen it, and I'm going to tell you the legal way, but there's people doing it the illegal way. Okay? Y'all have probably seen it. Hey, you want to win a car. If you want to win a car, buy a t-shirt, buy a keychain, buy this, buy that, and you'll get 1 entry or 5 entries for a t-shirt, 2 entries for a keychain, 1 entry for a bumper sticker. Okay, y'all have probably seen that. All right, so you buy that and you receive your t-shirt, your keychain, or whatever, and then they'll add entries for you to win that car, boat, whatever, gun, whatever the hell it is. Okay, that is the legal way. Okay, and I'm not a lawyer, but I have noticed this, and I've been commenting that I'm right because I verified it. Okay, and you can verify it too. So it has to be an item for basically an entry. But you're buying and you're receiving some good, whatever it is. Okay, so that's the legal way. But there are channels out there now that are saying, pay me, give me money to my PayPal or whatever for an entry to win this gun. Okay? So if you want to win this gun, you've got to do a $20 entry. Okay? So I'm paying you $20 for a chance to win, but I'm not getting a shirt, I'm not getting anything, so there's going to be one winner out of however many. Okay? When you're doing that, that's a lottery. That's like the Texas lottery, the Illinois lottery, the Tennessee lottery. That's like all these lotteries. Okay? You have to have a lottery license to do that. These channels do not have a license to do that. So they're like, hey, Venmo me, $20 for an entry. And so there's people on their chats and they're Venmoing and they're $20 in to win an item. But if you lose, you're not getting a t-shirt, a hat, or whatever for that entry. It's just that one person they randomly draw. That is a lottery. So that's illegal. I knew it a long time ago. Someone brought it up. Hey, have you seen this? And I said, well, I'm aware of it, but so I really started keying in on it. And there's several channels that are doing it. There's some small ones. There's some bigger ones. Not huge, not like monster channels, but some that are comparable to mine, some that are way bigger than mine, some that are smaller than mine. And they're like, hey, if you want to win this flashlight, Venmo me $10 or PayPal me $10, and that gets you an entry. And so if there's 6, think about this, the flashlight, the gun, the whatever it is, okay? If it's a gun that costs $400 and all of a sudden people have been Venmoing you and you've got $3,000 paid to you for a $400 gun and only one person's winning that, That's pretty shitty. And it's also illegal. So, you can simply Google it. And it is also against YouTube guidelines. And they're still doing it on YouTube. So I don't know how the hell this is happening, but it's been happening and it's getting worse because other people have seen other channels doing it. So now they're doing it on their channels. And that's horseshit. So a pyramid, yeah. Yeah, Turkey. I figured you'd learn some stuff or, be aware of some stuff because I'm calling it out. What's up, Hurt? How are you, buddy? Look at the OGs like Military Arms Channel, Iraq, Vet, Scooch, all turned into paid shills. Yep. But they're illegal. I'm just trying to catch up, make sure I didn't miss anything. So again, you can't do a lottery on YouTube, and those are lotteries. So, and these are going into people's PayPal accounts, Venmo accounts, it's direct money straight to them. So if you're doing that and you're paying these people, you're participating in the freaking bullshit game. So don't do it. Don't do it. So that's horseshit. So I want you to be aware of that. Also, so that's enough on that. If they're not giving you a shirt, and the proper way to do it is, again, hey, if you want to buy a shirt, we're going to send you a shirt and you're going to get 5 entries to win this Jeep or truck or whatever it might be. You're getting a good for your entry. So you're purchasing that t-shirt or that keychain or that bumper sticker or whatever it is. So you're getting a good for your money, and that is legal. But the other way is bullshit, and it's not legal. So don't fall for it. And if someone's doing that, call their ass out. Say, hey, what you're doing is illegal. It's a freaking lottery. And you can't do lotteries because you don't have, you're not part of the lottery commission and you don't have a lottery license. And again, I'm not a lawyer, but anybody can look this shit up. DB says, I see channels raffling off big dollar 2011s for donations. That's what I'm talking about right there, DB. Yep, and that is illegal. Now, if they were saying, I'm going to sell you a shirt or a hat or a bumper sticker or whatever, and that gives you an entry to win this, that's legal. But that other way these guys are doing it, and that's one of the channels I'm talking about for the 2011s. So, or flashlights, or Hollow Sun optics, or Sealy optics. And also what's bullshit is those optics were given to that channel. Now, some are given for giveaways. I've received them in the past, and I'm like, send me 2, I'll give one away, and I do. But, that's like, if I give you something, that's different. You're not paying me you're not buying it from me, or a chance of buying it from me. And that's horseshit. Prentick says Hodge Twins do the giveaway from items purchased. They also give cash to the pay to give. Yeah. DB says I need a red dot giveaway. Yeah. Well, like I said, if it's a giveaway and you're not expecting any dollars or saying pay me, that's different. Or if you're just selling it online, like some kind of, what is that, Facebook marketplace or something, you're giving them a good for money. So, but not a chance at it, that's just horse shit. Well, I had companies, and this is another thing that's pissing me off. I have companies that reach out to me and they say, hey, we want to send you this item. And if we send you, or when we send you this item, we need you to do a video and then send us a rough draft of your video for us to approve it. If they say that to me instantly, I say no. I do not ever I don't have you approve shit. I put up what I want to put up, when I want to put it up, and how I want to put it up. You do not tell me, pre-approve this and pre-approve that. That's not how I run my show. Okay? So I had companies reaching out and saying, hey, do it this way. We'll send you something for free to review, and then we'll pre-approve it before you post it. Okay? And I would instantly say no. No, or ignore it. Well, then I had companies reach out and say, hey, we would like you to test this and give an honest feedback. They tell me, honest feedback, whatever you think about it, you can say. So I'm like, okay, I'm interested in that product or that product. I'll look at it. Some of them are bullshit. I'll look at them and I'm like, that's freaking junk. I don't want it. I'm not going to use it. I wouldn't even give it away. Some of these things they reach out about. Like I've had places reach out about fans. Hey, do you want this outdoor fan? It's great. It'll be great for camping. And I'm not a freaking camping channel. I mean, of course I like fans. I mean, I have them in my house, but and I'm not saying that. Or, hey, there's this portable shower. You can tell your viewers about this portable shower. I'm like, you think we all take showers outside? I mean, what is this, a third world country? And I'm just joking. These are like camping things and camping chair. And I'm like, that's not what I'm about. I don't give a shit about a camping chair. I'm sure y'all don't either. So why would I bore you with that? And I don't want that. I don't need any more junk like that. So I'm very selective of who I let send in shit. Well, I'll just tell you. So there was no strings attached, no previews of videos. So I had a company send in an optic and I had a company send in a safe. Well, for one, and I'm not going to say who they are because, but, they sent them, I looked at them, I put the optic on a gun, I'm testing it, all that stuff. And they didn't ask for any pre-approvals, none of that shit, because I won't accept it. So anyway, they did a follow-up and said, hey, are you, have you gotten to the optic yet? And I said, yes, I'm checking it still. It's on a gun. I've been running it. Video should be out soon. Well, then they replied with, oh, so if you haven't published it yet, please send us a copy of the video so we can pre-approve it before you publish it. And this is actually an optic that I'm really liking. I'm really actually enjoying this optic. It's really good so far. And I typed back, no, I do not do pre-approval videos. The video will be out when it's out after I'm done with my testing. That's what I sent them. And I haven't heard back from them yet. The other thing was this revolutionary safe that, they didn't give dimensions on it, but they said, oh, it's a really big safe and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, on my guns, y'all probably all know this, on my guns I have extended mags for home defense especially, extended mags, red dots, flashlights on big guns, not little baby guns. I got this safe in. For one, it's got a certain way that you open the safe that nobody else has, which is kind of cool. But the gun, the way I have it upfitted for my home defense, won't fit in this safe properly. And if I cram it in there and I have to get it out in the middle of the night or the bump in the night, I mean, I'm going to just throw my finger in there with a live trigger, because if I put it in the holster and strap the holster to the inside of the safe where I could just pull the gun, grab the gun, grab it and rip it out of the holster and the holster stay, because that's the way I kind of have stuff tethered right now. If I do this, the holster and the gun and everything else will not fit in this safe. It just won't fit in it. And this was the extra large. So for one, that's not going to work. And then there was no strings attached to that either. And now they're like, oh, well, when you publish the video, can you send us a copy of it for pre-approval? And I type back, this safe is too small for my freaking gun to even go in. And no, I will not send any pre-approval. And honestly, I'm to the point now where I don't even think I'm going to do shit on this safe. So I'm not saying it's a bad safe. It's just not going to work for me, I don't think, with what I have set up for my home defense stuff. So, I don't have I usually have bigger than a Glock 17 size in it. It'll fit a 17, but when you put a dot on it, a light on it, and an extended mag, it won't angle properly. So I could probably jam it in there, but then I can't get it out. So what the hell purpose does it serve? So that's pissing me off. And I think they're doing a roundabout, because first they were asking me, oh, will you send us a copy? And I was saying, no, 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 no. And now they're like, okay, let's don't ask for a copy. Let's just see if he'll take it. And then we'll ask for the copy later, or the pre-approval. And I'm not doing that shit. So I flat out told this company, oh, and also with the safe company, I told them, no, I will not do that. And if you want it back, you can send me a return label and I'll send you the fucker back. Excuse my language. But, there's none of this pre-approval shit with me. But I've seen other reviews, and this is where I'm going with this. I've seen other reviews on that safe that are posted. So that means all those freaking videos agreed to that bullshit. So, and some of these are smaller channels. So did they take it? Is it truthful? Do they really feel that way about it? Or do they feel like, oh, they had to get it approved and then redo the video or something because the company didn't like it? I don't know how to take that. I'm not saying those channels are lying. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say, what's up, Scott? I'm just trying to say, is that right? Are they giving honest feedback? Are they just following their bullshit guidelines of everything they want you to say? Because I've gotten some of these, or some of them would send me, like, oh, here's the script we would like you to say. And I'm like, no, I don't follow a script. Do you even watch my channel? I don't freaking edit shit. I don't script shit. I just talk like I'm talking right now. So you're dealing with the wrong compadre if you think I'm going to start scripting shit. So the YouTube begging for donations or for super chats, I don't agree with. And if people you like do that or whatever, that's their deal. I'm not calling them out and saying they're shills and all that shit. That's not for me to say. I'm just saying I won't give them shit. And I've paid out plenty of super chats for people I really appreciate. And then this giveaway shit, pay me $20 and you'll be entered. That's horse shit. So they're not a lottery. You're not getting anything for that $20. If they're doing a giveaway, it should be a free entry. If I do a giveaway, it's just going to be like, hey, I'm giving this away. Like, share, subscribe, whatever. That's not monetary. So when you start dealing with money, that's a whole different ball game. And I guarantee you, all these people that are getting those funds from Zelle or, PayPal or whatever, they're not claiming that shit as income. I promise you they're not. So, because hell, even on my small YouTube channel, I claim it. They're taxing me. They're doing all that kind of shit. I don't do any of that backdoor pay me on PayPal or Zelle or any of that shit, because all that is going to come back and bite you in the ass. And I don't want that. So, Turkey's Opinion said, I've had only one optic. Company send me an optic, no strings, CV Life. I told them no, none of it. They agreed. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I've had plenty of companies where they're like, you say what you want to say. We don't make you say anything. You don't have to pre-approve shit. Like with Streamlight. I've been working with those guys forever. And there's some stuff I've said about some of their lights where I'm like, and I even said it on this last Streamlight video, if you watched it, I'm like, they offer strobe. Personally, this is just my personal opinion. If you like strobe, that's cool. I think strobe is stupid. I think strobe could potentially disorient. It'll disorient your bad guy, but it could kick back and disorient you. And I don't want to be put in that situation. And I think strobe is stupid. So, y'all, that's right. I said it. I think strobe is freaking stupid. So, and if you've got an epileptic nearby, you could put them into a seizure. So I'm not saying that could happen, but it could. I'm not saying it will, but it could. I don't want to be a part of that. So I've never used strobe. I've hated strobe forever. Every light offered it. It used to come on lights, and I would be like, why? And then Streamlight got it to where it could be programmed in or programmed out. That's cool. So you will never see a real light that I'm going to use. Now, some of these little Chinese bullshit lights they've sent to me, they have strobe in them and you can't take it out. So do you think I'm going to use that and really recommend that light? No, hell no. There was one that a company sent to me way back, and I was like, it has strobe and you can't program it out. So I don't recommend this light just for that reason, because you have no control over it. You could accidentally hit the button and it could send it into strobe. And that's stupid, in my opinion. Again, if you like it, that's cool. These are only my opinions. Mook says, also feel like some influencers are paid by sponsors to trash talk their competitors. Yeah, they are. Hell yeah. Military Arms Channel. Let's see here. Let me catch back up. Product designer and engineer, but stopped career because managers abused to make crap to scam people. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of scammers out there. Let me catch back up here. DB says, I'll send you a steakhouse gift card for $1. Mr. David says, you deserve a like for a real talk. Well, I appreciate it, man. But I mean, this is just me. Send me $20 and you go to heaven. Damn. Big J brought fire tonight. I like it. Well, I'm just tired of this shit, man. Pranic says, what would you do for a Trijicon? I have Trijicons. I ain't doing shit for a Trijicon. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I've had expensive shit sent to me, cheaper shit, you know, it doesn't matter. Yeah, strobe was worthless. Strobe reminds me of an old disco days, yeah. Mario says, I hate how most channels nowadays throw their BS sponsor. Shit is annoying. And I granted, I have a lot of people I work with, such as Armsman, such as Lock Grips, such as Impact Machine, Core Belts, you know, stuff like that. I'm going to tell you about it. And also you'll notice, if they've given me something, or, and I've seen this happening too, this is another thing. I know that product was given to that channel, and they're not putting paid promotion. They're not lighting that up and saying this is a paid promotion. Because I don't care if Lock sends me a set of grips and I'm talking about Lock Grips, or I've got Lock Grips on the guns, I put paid promotion because I want y'all to know that. And also it is FCC mandatory that you do that. You're supposed to do that, but there's a bunch of channels that aren't doing that. And you know, it is what it is. I'm not trying to beat channels up, but I'm like, man, let people know that you're working with these companies. You've heard me say it 1,000 times. You know, I work with these companies. You know, I want them to succeed. And a lot of them I don't get paid anything on. You know, they're only, you know, coupon codes to benefit y'all, to get y'all a discount. You know, I talk to them and I'm like, hey, can you give, you know, my subscribers a discount, you know, code? You don't have to pay me. You know, I'm not expecting payment from all these people. Now, granted, some, like Armsman, he'll send me some holsters, you know, but it's goods that he's giving me, you know, to show and stuff like that. So, but I just, man, there's just all kinds of shady shit going on, and it just drives me crazy. I mean, I'm like, wow, why are people doing that? Let me catch back up here. And I understand, I'm not so mad, DB, about like if somebody wants to, you know, do a sponsorship or a commercial or whatever. I get it. You know, they want to make some money, and a lot of the channels, the bigger channels, get paid, you know, to put a clip or whatever. You know, hopefully they're putting paid sponsorship in there. DB says, I love it when they say I have no relationship with blah, 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 and they aren't paying me, but they did send me this whiz bang insert. Yeah, and that is part of what they're saying. You know, I just still, and I'll say that in the videos, you've heard me say that, but I still put that little thing up there saying paid sponsorship, because for one, you're supposed to do that with YouTube. What's up, Adrian? How are you, man? Hope you're doing good. But like I said, these are some things that have been really bugging me, and I just want y'all to be aware of it, because I don't want y'all to give these people $20 or $40 or whatever these entries are, going into their pocketbook, and it's not benefiting you, and you're not getting a damn shirt, or you're not getting some piece of good that you can show. Like a buddy of mine, I sent him that documentation because, again, you can Google this shit. I'm not making this stuff up. But even when, he told me that and I really checked into it, I was like, that shit's illegal. Can't do that. DB says they play it like they aren't paid, but they get to keep the $3,000 whiz bang. Yeah, and I understand if you're doing a product, sponsorship or whatever, and they send you a gun and they're like, hey, test this out, and you test it out, and you like it, or there's some things you don't like, talk about it. But say they sent me this gun and here's the promotion or the paid, sponsorship deal or whatever. I've had companies send me guns. I've said, hey, they sent this in for testing and evaluation, and I'll have the little paid sponsorship logo in the videos. I'm always 1,000% upfront. And if somebody's upfront about it, and I've still found shit where they've sent me, guns and stuff, and I'm like, this little particular thing I like or I don't like or whatever. Just be honest about it. Don't give it 2 freaking thumbs up every time somebody's paid you and given you a free gun. Unit 4, it's hanging in there. It still has its moments. It swells up occasionally, but we're pressing on and moving on with life, man. I got shit to do. Mario says, remember that Olight nonsense? All these guys got Olight with the promise to place a video within 5 days. You can do a decent light test in 5 days. Yeah, well, that's one reason, Mario, I dumped Olight. For one, their lights were breaking on me, and I was asking, hey, this shit's not right. They weren't responding. They weren't doing anything. So I'm like, screw you. I'm done with your crap. Your customer service sucked. Now, granted, this was way, way back, a long, long time ago. So it's probably much better now. But again, you kind of burn me once, I'm done. Ranger, man, you don't have to do that. Ranger, you don't have to do that, dude. But I appreciate it. But you don't have to do that. Ranger, threw in $2 to the whiskey donation. But I'll put it right back in the channel. But yeah, the O site is incredible. Man, I don't know if y'all know this. Do y'all know that they're doing O knife now? Olight is doing O sights. They're doing, freaking Olight flashlights. And now they're doing O knives. So now they have a knife company. Yeah, I just saw this and I'm like, what? I'm like, good Lord, they're doing knives now? So, but like I said, I don't want anything from Olight. I'm done. Got a hat and t-shirt from that shit. So, and again, if you're an Olight fan, I'm not beating you up for it, but I'm kind of what works for me maybe doesn't work for somebody else. I can only give my opinion for that one product I have. But Streamlight, dude, is, and not just because I work with them, but Streamlight's freaking killing it right now. When I did that test on that new weapon light against the freaking Surefire Turbo, and it beat it, I was like, holy shit. I mean, that thing is pumping out some candela. I was like freaking out. I was like, it actually surprised me. It really did. SDS is selling a couple of the knives on their website. Well, and like I said, I have no experience with their knives. I don't have any current experience with their lights. I have no experience with their dots. And I don't know if I've said this, but they actually said that they were sending me, or that they were reaching out to me, and I got the emails. Oh, we want to send you this O sight. We want you to test it out. And I was like, do you remember me? Have you checked where I told you to take my ass off of, your list and not send me shit and don't even reach out to me again? Y'all must have a very short memory. But yeah, and like I said, I'm not, if people like Olight, that's cool. But it's kind of a, you screw me once, you screw me twice, I'm done with your ass. There's too many other options out there. So, and also, I've had Streamlights, inexpensive flashlights. little pocket flashlights where I'll leave them in my jeans and I'll wash them. They go through the washer, the dryer. I pull them out and I'm like, oh shit, man, I rent that light, and I kick it on and it works. You know, not saying you couldn't do that with an Olight, you know, I don't know, but I never did it with an Olight, but I've done it plenty of times with my Streamlights, and I've got a stack of Streamlights, and a lot of them I bought. And matter of fact, I like the TLR7 HLX, the longer bezel. They sent me one for testing when they first came out. I liked it so much, I now own 3 of them. I bought 2 more. I didn't ask them. I probably could have reached out and said, hey, can you send me another one? Can you do that? And they probably would have. But no, I bought 2 more of them. So, you know, I bought the FDE and another black one. So, because I love that freaking light. For a small compact light pumping out 1,000 lumens, it's a fabulous light. It's my favorite small light. But, let's see here. GB58 says, I like the light, but don't trust any of them. Yeah, like I said, I'm not beating anybody up, and they might be way better than they used to be. I was with them way back in the day. Hey, what's up, Clyde? How are you, buddy? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, the HPX Armsman is freaking legit. That light is crazy bright. I'm really impressed, and I think I've told y'all that I've ordered that Cloud Defense on the pre-order. I've ordered that Cloud Defense. I paid for it like, what, 5 months ago, 6 months ago. You know, and they're supposed to be coming out sometime, I guess, in the winter. So we'll see, but I'm excited about that also. GB says, Big J, I'm closer to you now for this week in Wichita. Oh, cool, man. What's a good comparable to the Surefire X300? I think that light is too expensive. That's the light I'm talking about, is that Streamlight, what is it, the HPX? TLR1 HPX. That thing is freaking crazy bright. And it's got the stamina. I actually kicked it on. I didn't film it, but I kicked it on in the backyard and I just let them both run. And I left them out there on my barbecue pit. And I'm sitting out this window just watching them. And the freaking Surefire shut off first. And that Streamlight kept going. I mean, for like probably another 15 or 20 minutes. And I was like, holy shit. Now, one is rechargeable and one is CR123, but it was the turbo that I did in the video. And I put a brand new CR123 in there, a Surefire battery out of a pack that I purchased. I buy CR123s, like a freaking case of them. I've got tons of them. Clyde says, I'm trying to get my leg back under me. Been a rough road since losing my wife, man. I'm sorry about that, dude. I can't even imagine, Clyde. Can't even imagine. My wife is my freaking rock. She's awesome. And I can't even imagine that, man. So I'm definitely praying for you, brother. But yeah, that was my little rant. So sorry if I spent 42 minutes. You know, who are doing this shit, you know, give me $20 and it's an entry. And dude, they're messing with fire there. I mean, they're gonna have the authorities knocking down their door. And I can't believe YouTube is like okay with this shit. Because for me, if I publish something and say it's a modified gun, dude, the hammer comes down. They demonetize the video instantly. They'll do a manual review and it's still bad, but yet you can just go on and say, send me money. I mean, I don't get that. Yeah, Clyde, I'm going on 33 years. Or actually, I mean, hell, it'll be 33 plus 5, so that's 38 years I've known my wife. So I totally get it, man. I mean, granted, she's here. Yours isn't. I understand that. You know, that's awful. That's so awful, man. And that is why it's so important, if you haven't reached out to people that you know and love and, you know, haven't talked to in a long time, to just reach out and say hi. You know, just make sure they're okay. But I do want to also update y'all. A couple of y'all have asked, but I am redoing my gun room slash office slash whatever. Um, I've already gotten. I went in and ordered some parts that I'm going to be putting in here. So I ordered two of them. I already got one of them. They had one in stock, so I got it, brought it home, set it up. Not in here. It's in the front room or the front hallway. Um, but yeah, it's going to be really cool in here. A lot of this stuff is going out, uh, as Pranic knows. More is going out, so I will be probably very soon doing some giveaways to some of y'all. It's not going to be a pay me. It's none of that shit. Just so you know, it's going to be, hey, just be a subscriber, and I'm not going to do a video. Hey, I'm doing a giveaway. Because you get the giveaway horrors when you do that shit. So, but that stuff's coming too. GB says, we like what you say. Keep it up. Thank you, sir. Honest Outlaw did those giveaway deals with buy a gadget and UPI. Yeah, but you like buy a cup. You're getting something. Again, those are legal. Unit 4 says, nice to get warmed up with a pre-rant. Leading up Turkey's chat. Yeah. DB says, got to walk the dog. There you go. Stay safe, brother. What do you think of some of these CZ clones from Turkey? Would you buy one? If that's what you can afford, it might not be a bad option. The only thing is, and this is just my opinion, that's all I can give. I've had some of the Turkish clones. I had the Canex, the all metal Canex. I wasn't impressed. They're really harsh. The triggers are harsh. The forging on the inside is really kind of shitty. I wasn't really impressed with them. So I would just save your money and get the real deal. That's just my opinion. Plus, if you don't like it and you want to trade it in, you're going to take a bath on that shit because nobody wants it. Once you buy it for whatever price it is, you're pretty much married to it. Or if you want to get rid of it, you are going to take a bath. So I just say buy what you're wanting to buy or what you should buy. Now, DB, no gift card needed. Armsman says we have to talk before the giveaway. Yeah. I do not sell clones. Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, I'm not I kind of buy products that I really want and that I enjoy. And if I ever, the reason why I buy brand name products is they hold their value. If I needed to sell it to get cash for something, or if something came up and I had to do a fire sale, I'm not going to completely lose my ass. That's the reason I do that. Some people go, oh, you're going to sell, you're going to, you could get a better deal if you buy this or a better deal if you buy that. Some of the name brands hold their value. I mean, you don't see people giving away Staccatos. And that's really kind of a base price point, 2011. Or like the Glock of 2011, I guess we should say. But it is what it is. So it's Rich B says, if I buy a Prodigy, what would I be looking at for a gunsmith? I'm sure you mean to change everything to get it up to a good level. Probably for the EGW kit, a trigger. That's probably the two things I would do. For the parts, you're probably looking $350, $400, labor. I don't know the price of gunsmiths. Maybe $150, something like that. You're going to be still cheaper than a Staccato. So, but the thing is, you don't have any warranty on it. Even through, after you do all that, you don't have any warranty on it through Springfield because you've changed everything in it. If you get it through Staccato, you got a lifetime warranty on it. And that's not just with the original owner. It's with the warranty goes with the gun. So if you bought a used Staccato, you get that lifetime warranty on the Staccato. So and I'm not trying to tell you to buy either one, buy what you want to buy, but I would recommend saving up the money and either buying a used Staccato or a new Staccato. Because I've changed a lot of my Staccatos, but if I have a trigger issue, they're not going to warranty an aftermarket trigger, just like Springfield wouldn't. But they're more likely to help me than Springfield would, because their internals are still tooled steel, where a lot of Springfields are MEM. So Scott says, very disappointed with the newer Jericho. They changed the slide design to be a two-piece, and the frames are now made in Vietnam. Cutting those corners, man. Yeah, unless you're a big deal at a gun store. Yeah, and I, like I said, I've traded in guns, but that's why I try to have. I'm not saying you have to have the most expensive gun. That's definitely not what I'm trying to say. But you have to. I always try to buy guns that are in demand or that I know that I will never get rid of, and if I pass them down, they're worth passing down. I just don't want to buy a bunch of shit that somebody has to deal with. I'm just being honest with you. If it's just a bunch of crap that who gives a shit about, TG have used Staccatos. They get them periodically, Pranic. I have seen them. They had an XC one time. They've had an XL one time used. And they had the original, what was it? Not the C2, it was the single stack. I can't remember the name on that one. Was it the C? Staccato C? That was way back when. What's up, US Fed? How are you, brother? He says, like button, 33 in the chat. We got 35 in the chat and only 17 thumbs up. Y'all smash that thumbs up. You don't have to pay me, but hit the thumbs up if you would, if you appreciate it. Unit 4 says, I see some channels, they have the wall of guns behind them. If it's not a climate control problem, would that be a problem, Big J? No, it's not a problem. If you live in a super humid, or if your house is super humid, or you keep them in a basement, that could be a problem. Other than that, no. I mean, y'all don't know it, but I got a gun sitting up there. I've got 2 guns sitting up there. I've got a gun sitting over here on the counter. I've got 2 rifles sitting over there in the corner. I have 3 rifles sitting right here. I don't have that problem in Texas where I am. Now, in the Houston area, it gets really humid, but I don't have that problem. And also, I mean, you can clean the damn thing if you need to and just keep it oiled. I mean, what is up, Trigger Bar? How are you, brother? Yes, Gun Nation. I appreciate you jumping in. And there's also some great content creators on here. Turkey, Trigger Bar. I mean, if I miss people, I'm sorry. Mateo, there's a bunch of people who have channels, so please check them out. Scott says, yeah, used Staccatos are pretty hard to find, and there's a reason for that. Most people who buy Staccatos keep them. That kind of tells it right there. I'm just trying to, people want to just go and buy the cheapest thing they can, but I always suggest saving up for what you really want. Not saying cheaper guns aren't cool. I'm not trying to say that, but if you really want a Staccato, don't buy a Prodigy and try to make it a Staccato. Because if you trade it in or sell it, at the end of the day, it's still a Prodigy with now another $500 or $600 or $700 worth of shit on it. It's kind of like buying a Ford Pinto and expecting it to be a Mustang. It's not going to be a Mustang. So, there you go. Because I look at some of my guns as investments. Okay, and I've said this numerous times. I'm not going to buy a $400 gun that I can only get $150 for. I don't look at that as a wise investment. Now, if it's a gun I want just to bang around and throw around and stuff, I get it. I totally understand it. But if I can't pass it on and it be worth a shit then, why do I really want it now? And a lot of these plastic wonder guns, if I don't enjoy them and customize them and fix them up to my liking, what am I doing with them? And I'm not saying you shouldn't have a lot of guns, but I'm like, what's the point of it? Just to have a lot of guns? You know, I've got a lot of guns. Y'all probably have a lot of guns. Yeah, Scott's saying not an issue as long as you keep them oiled up, put them in those damn silicone sleeves, yeah. And use the little glow rods or whatever they're called, the gold rods. I always forget the damn name of them. That's what I've got in my safes. GB says, I wish I had a firearm here. Where are you, GB? 58? Where do you live? Arjun says, I need all of them. I totally get it. Yeah, no, I get it, Scott. And a lot of them hold their value. You can find some deals. I've seen a used one. I see them periodically at Shields. I used to see them at Shields occasionally. I even know subscribers like Channel Cat. He's bought a used Takato XC. He found it at Shields. It was a decent price. He reached out to me and said, hey, should I get this? Is this a good price? And I was like, yeah, it's a really good price. Had a dot on it, came with some extra mags, and it was a good deal. You know, I don't think they priced it right, but that was also like a year and a half ago. So, unless they were able to cram a 460 in it, yeah. Oh, Wichita, that's right, yeah. But, you know, sorry that I rambled on about things that were bothering me, but I think y'all need to be aware of them. And I'm not hating on anybody, but, you know, man, if you're running your channel like that, that's bullshit to me. Scott says, I've personally only seen one STI 1911, and when it was beaten, they still wanted over 2,500 bucks. Yeah, I get it. I mean, some of them, and think about it, somebody probably bought that gun for 2,500 bucks used. So, I mean, they do hold their value. Mario says, I don't know much about this Takato. They recently came into California. I thought the price was ridiculous, so didn't really pay too much attention to it. Yeah, and if it's out of your budget, I understand. I am the first person to always say never go broke over buying something. Don't do that. Yes, I've actually got videos of the Bull Armories. I've shot probably 3 or 4 of them. They're great guns. They are really nice guns. I think they're fabulous guns. I highly recommend those guns. The only thing I hate about those guns is they have proprietary mags for Bull Armory, so they won't fit other 2011s. Matter of fact, also, Pranic, if you're still in the chat, Texas Gun Experience just became a Bull Armory dealer, but the second they get them, they're gone. They got 5 of them in, and they were literally gone within like a couple of days. So, yeah, my local gun store has became a Bull Armory dealer, so that's really cool. But I love their guns. I think they're fabulous guns. The price, they're great guns. But again, the magazine for me, I have 4 2011s. All of a sudden, to bring in a Bull Armory and add another or a proprietary mag, and I'm not saying, you know, I understand Glocks have their mags, Smith & Wesson have their mag, I understand that. But when you have 2011s, you know, staccatos, MPAs, other 2011s, and all of a sudden your 2011 mags don't fit your Bull Armory, it's like, oh crap. And I don't just buy 1 or 2 mags. So I'm the guy that buys like 6 or 7 or 8 mags for each gun. So, you know, there you go. Yeah, I love my Staccato P. Turkey's Opinion says, you only scratch the surface of gun tube problems, Big J. It's a mess. No, I agree, Turkey. These are just some things that are bothering me, and we only have like an hour. Trust me, I could be on here for days. Scott says, I have the single stack Bull Armory 4.25, and I would highly recommend them. I picked mine up used for $1K, and I don't regret it. It's amazing. Yeah, they are. Pranic says, I'd buy a Staccato first. APC 9 Pro is what I want right now. Let me catch back up. Yeah, the difficulty in acquiring those Bull Armory pisses me off. Yeah. 2011 mags, hell, Armsman's played with them. But I do like, I do really like the Bull Armories. I think they're great guns. You are getting tooled steel all the way through it now, even on the safeties. Like I said, I think that's a great, great pistol. Don't get me wrong. If you are not invested in another 2011s, I would highly recommend a Bull Armory. I mean, they shoot fabulous. I really, really do enjoy them. It's just for myself, if I bought a Bull Armory, I'd have to buy, the gun and however many mags it came with, and then I would buy more mags. And then it's like, okay, is this a Bull Armory mag or, a 2011 mag? So that's the only thing I deal with. I don't know what Huggy Bear said, but apparently Ranger 10 took care of his ass, so I appreciate it. But again, it is 7:59. We're at, close to an hour, or a little over an hour, I guess. I started a couple minutes early, but again, I wasn't trying to bash any channels. I didn't mention channels' names. And if the channels want to come at me, come at me. I don't give a shit. I really don't care. But again, I just think that, if you're doing some shady shit, or if you're doing stuff that you don't even know what you're doing, for one, you shouldn't be doing it. You need to check your rules and, not lead people down the wrong paths if you're not doing shit right. But what I want to do, or I ordered stuff, wasn't cheap. I'll just say that. But I want to set my room up quite a bit differently. I want it kind of like, a place where I can sit in a chair, drink a whiskey, do a chat. I'm going to redo this complete room. It's going to take me a while. It's not going to happen overnight. But, I've invested some money in stuff that I wanted. I'm going to set up some stuff totally different that I have not seen the way I'm going to do it on YouTube. So I've had this in my head for years, and I'm just like, you know what? I want to do it. So I'm doing it because I've never seen it done the way I'm going to do it. I've never even seen it done the way I thought that I was going to do it, but I've even changed some things now for some ways that I want to do it. And I've talked about it with friends, and I'm like, oh shit, that's really cool. I think that's awesome. They were excited for me. So hopefully y'all will enjoy it too. And again, I'm not going to be like, oh, I set the world on fire and I invented this. I'm not trying to say that. I just think it's really cool with what I'm doing. And again, I haven't seen it done. I have not seen it done. And it will have my flare on it. It'll have the Big Johnson flare on it. Thank you, Ranger. I appreciate you, buddy. Let's see. Mario was saying, I wish the Shadow 2 would be in California legal. I really want one. The courts are actually going towards favor of California. Looks like the roster might go our way. Hopefully, man. And I know that you're there, and you're probably there for a reason, but man, your governor is a mess. I hope they get that squared away. He says, do you plan to add a wall safe? I have plenty of safes. No, I mean, I'm going to be moving some safes around and actually taking some of them out of this room. And y'all can't see them, the ones that are in here, but I'm going to be moving some of those out. A lot of orange, that could be happening. That could be happening. So don't be alarmed if you see a lot of orange. That's my color. Yeah. Newscombs does suck. But yeah, no, I want to change some stuff around. My wife's going to be helping me out with some of the designing. I've given her some ideas and, picking some colors that we're going to be painting some things. So I think it's going to be cool, and I'm excited to do it and move a bunch of stuff around and get a bunch of shit out of here. I've already got a home for a chair that I'm going to be giving away, a leather recliner. So I've got a home for that. That's going to be going away. And I'm going to be moving some other chairs from the front room into here. So it's going to be kind of like a little studio, kind of relaxing whiskey den / gun tube / office. It's going to be pretty cool. Well, put it this way. The vision in my head is pretty cool. We're going to see if we can make it happen. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm done with the official rehab. I haven't gone since. I'm just kind of doing things that I'm supposed to do, and it's hanging in there. So painting the room orange, safes orange, guns orange, orange lights. Yeah, everything could end up orange. Y'all could be looking in here and going, holy crap, man, everything's freaking orange. Are you crazy? GB says, Big J, hope I can meet you in person one of these days. Yeah, if y'all ever meet me, just come up and say hi. I've met a lot of subscribers, and had good chats with them. I've been up at Texas Gun Experience, had several people come up to me and go, are you Big Johnson? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, hey, I watch your videos. And I'm like, that's really cool, man. Thank you. I always like, meeting people. So if you ever see me, please holler. Would definitely love to meet y'all. But we'll go ahead and shut this down. I appreciate y'all as always. It's always a good time. But again, I've already got one of the units. I'm waiting for the other one. I had to order it. They're saying it could take 2 or 3 weeks. But I can't do the stuff I want to do till I get the other one. But once I do it, I'll probably post up a video if y'all want to see it. If y'all want to see what I'm doing or things like that, just let me know. Also, I've got a lot of tools, so if y'all want to see more tool reviews, I have filmed some. Let me know if you're interested in tools. I just used some tools the other day, physically used them, and I was pretty impressed with them. Some new tools that I purchased and put them to the test, and they passed. So I'm like, okay. And I was cranking on them too, because I like to break shit. Or put it this way, I like to push shit to its limit. Where I'm like, okay, some of the cheap shit would give up the ghost with this, but this one held out. Any tools, if I do the reviews, any tools that pass, I'll let you know. If they fail, I'll let you know. You'll see it. If it breaks, I'll show you it broke. Some of these tools are cheap or cheaper. Some of these tools are expensive. I've broken very expensive tools back in my technician days. I'm not a tech anymore. But, if y'all want to see some tool reviews, let me know. Or, hey, I just picked this up. Here's the box opening or whatever. I'm going to be testing it out. If y'all want to see that stuff, let me know. Because I've kind of gotten into a tool kick again, and I've been buying a bunch of tools. So if y'all want to see tool reviews, let me know. If you don't, that's cool too. But anyway, I appreciate y'all so much. I'm going to go grab some food. I haven't eaten anything in forever, and I'm starving to death. Unit 4 says I like to take stuff apart, but never seem to get it back together right. Yeah, it sounds like me when I was a kid. I was always taking shit apart, but I would put it back together. I always wanted to see how shit worked. I was kind of that person. But I love tools. So trust me, tools have become way more advanced now than they were back when, I was even turning wrenches. So, and there's some tools that I'm really kind of fascinated with. And I've bought into, and I'm like, this shit's legit. So, if you're interested in that, stuff that I think is really cool, let me know and I'll do a review on it. Just so y'all know, I have filmed some of the reviews, but I haven't tested all the tools. They're just kind of like, hey, I got this tool. What do y'all want to see with it? If you're interested in that, let me know, and maybe I'll film some videos on it. But I appreciate y'all. We're going to go and shut this down. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. And again, like I said before, and just so y'all know, on the barbecue channel, Big J's, what the hell is it called? My other channel, my barbecue channel that I don't do shit on, Big J's Pit Stop. Go over to Big J's Pit Stop. I already posted a video. I think some people have seen it. Maybe it was US Vet or somebody. There's a video over there that I haven't put on this channel, and it's a tool video. If anybody wants to see it, go over and check it out. It's called Big J's Pit Stop, and you can check out that tool video over there. And it's kind of a unique tool. It's one that I was like, I might like this, and I actually do like it. So anyway, but I appreciate y'all so much. And again, if y'all haven't reached out to people that may need to hear from you, or you haven't talked to them in a long time, please reach out to them. Just let them know you're thinking about them. Check on them. Say hi. You love them. That kind of stuff. It always means a lot. I had my granddaughter last Sunday, and man, it was fun. We had a blast. So she's almost to the point where she's like kind of getting chatty. So I can't wait till she starts, gooing and gawing and raising hell. So, but and she's going to have a lot of guns. Put it that way. She's going to be loaded to the hilt. So all this, she's my only grandchild so far. So she's gonna get some good stuff. But I appreciate y'all as always. Have a great night. Love one another. And remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation. So we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. Y'all take care.